Thanks very much, Chair. The President was right about one thing. South Africans are resilient. We are a fynbos people, even if we have a khaki boss government. But our resilience shouldn't give the President comfort, and he shouldn't mistake our equanimity as a license to continue plodding along. Resilient people don't only overcome failure and setbacks, resilient people also have the ability to fight back against dysfunctional government. Mr. President, we find it difficult to talk about your smart city at Lanseria, the bullet train, and so forth, not because we lack imagination, but because we know that Eskom and our electricity supply cannot sustain growth of higher than 2% per annum. And we know that at the current trajectory, if a smart city numbering 300,000 people is miraculously built at Lanseria in the foreseeable future, it will probably break the electricity grid and plunge the entire country into darkness. So much for the despair. But what about the good news? That, Mr. President, was not even included in your speech or the speeches of your ministers here today. The good news is that there are parts of South Africa that aren't failing. Smart towns and cities that are actually working. Smart communities who are bucking the national trend of decline. These communities aren't perfect. They bear the marks of division of the past. They lumber under a bad economy predating COVID-19. But what makes these communities smart is their determination to overcome the past and to survive the failure of national government. Who are these communities? They are black and they are white and others not. But they have shared values that transcend these differences. They work in our factories, they run our businesses, they grow our food. Their labor and ingenuity power our economy and fund our basic services. They work, if they can find work, and they save and they pay their taxes and they care. But they refuse to go down with the ANC. They refuse to stand by as things fall apart and then call it inevitable. One of these communities was not even mentioned in the President's speech or much here today, and that is Stellenbosch, a world-class local authority. Stellenbosch is likely to become the first municipality in South Africa that becomes free of Eskom load shedding because their mayor and their team have invested in alternative sources of energy. If they succeed in this, it's because years ago, the people of Stellenbosch were smart enough to vote for an honest, hard-working government, one that delivers results and not excuses. Dis nog so 'n slim gemeenskap wat onlangs die slag van Cilliers rivier in die Noordwes gewen het. Anders as in Stellenbosch moes die mense van Koster en Swartruggens die stryd vir beurtedienste aandurf teen hulle eie munisipaliteit. Bewyse is voorgelê voor die hof dat die munisipale bestuur die waterwerke saboteer het sodat watertanks ten duurste aangekoop sou word. Die inwoners het beheer oorgevat met 'n Hooggeregshof bevel en nou vir die eerste keer in jare het daai gemeenskappe weer skoon water. Now, the Cilliers River precedent is inspiring other communities, including Ugu, Msunduzi, and Polokwane. Note, please, Madam Mayor, the chairperson or the president of SALGA. But we have to ask, Mr. President, how long will communities continue to pay corrupt and inefficient municipalities for services that aren't delivered? At the heart of the collapse of local government is a skills crisis. The pool of expertise available to municipalities should have gotten much, much bigger in the past 25 years, but the opposite has happened. The solution to this skills crisis is not to concentrate more power in the hands of national government as per the district development model. If government can't even get the rollout of the vaccine right, how will they improve basic services with the help of a fourth layer of centralized bureaucracy? Instead, be bold and do away with the policies that prevent municipalities from procuring the skills that are needed. Struggling municipalities need all of the engineers and planners and financial managers that they can get, regardless of politics and regardless of skin color. So abolish cadre deployment, but go further. Do away with race quotas. Do away with race-based preferential procurement and BEE. Mr. President, let your love of country in this time of crisis for once exceed your love of party. And if you do so, as the Leader of the Opposition has said, you will have a helping hand on this side of the House. But, Chairperson, someone who definitely needs a helping hand is the Minister of Justice. He complains that we are criticizing him despite his wonderful record. Our question is, in terms of corruption, why is Bongane Bongo still there as chairperson of the Home Affairs Portfolio Committee? Why is Arthur Fraser, Minister Lamola, in your department still the National Commissioner of Prisons? Why is Jeff Mokubo your replacement for the Mayor of Johannesburg? And I'm not sure if the Minister of Justice is sleeping. Then we have the Minister of Defence who holds forth about COVID-19 but gives no account of the 35 million rand in interferon so-called COVID medicine that was procured on her recommendation. Thank you, Chair.